first proper test that Brian McDermott's been asking for. One heck of a test. The only thing I can think is, could Catalans rest some people because they played a championship club? I don't know, though, that they'd underestimate Featherstone sufficiently to do that. So I think they'll go into it with the best side they can pick, and I think that best side that they can pick will be better and will win by 10 points.
Yeah, I mean, you could potentially see that they might rest Sam, give Sam a week off again, but I think Catalan by 12.
Yeah, if Arthur Morg was back, then there'd be a reason to do that, wouldn't there?
Yeah,
especially because May's going to have to play in the centres with Farhay missing. Well, actually,
Yeah.
Leguer could come back in as well, couldn't he? So there are options. But I can't see Catalans taking it too easily against Fev. BBC game on Saturday, 4:30 p.m. It's JJB's first game in temporary charge of the Leeds Rhinos against Castleford Tigers. This should be a fiery one. This should be great.
Yeah, I mean, it's two very evenly matched sides, and I actually think, league
two sides
table
that need a win as well.
League table and points aside, I think you actually look at it. We've played both of them this season, and I think Cass look a better side than Leeds. And I think if Cass turn up and play like they did against us for the vast majority of the game on Thursday night, then I think they'll win by 6 at least.
Yeah, Chase Blair was injured, wasn't he, in the game against us? I think he won't be back for this one. He's got some sort of hand injury or something. I can't.
Yeah, true. I think it looked like he broke his fingers or something like that, because that was quite early in the game, wasn't it? But Truman against us looked better than he has for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think if he can find a bit of form, then I think they've got every chance of getting something out of the game. Saying if Westerman puts in another performance like he did against us, then I don't think Leeds have got enough to shut him down.
That's it. If the eye issue or whatever it was that was talked about Westerman after the game that Radford mentioned in his kind of post match, if that rules him out, then I probably would lean towards Leeds. But I think with him in, I'm going to lean towards Cass. I'm going to say Cass by 8 against a Leeds side that aren't cohesive and can't control their emotions.
Mm-hmm. And given that Bentley's an absolute liability, I can see Cass trying to get under Bentley's skin and him getting himself another card.
So we've gone the same again.
Yeah.
Both got for Cass. Sunday, 2 games. The first one of them, 2 o'clock kickoff on Premier Sports. That's Warrington versus Wakefield. So a repeat of the TV game we saw last week. Will it be a repeat of the same result? I'm going to let you go first.
Thanks. Heart says, Wakefield, if they could do what they did last week, will win this one quite comfortably again. But my head says surely Warrington have to realise that they need to do something. So I'm going to go Warrington by 4.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to go with Wakefield by 4.
Well, should be a draw at the end, then, and it's a golden point extra time.
Yeah, and then the BBC have gone up to watch the entertainers of the Championship Barrow against the Huddersfield Giants. 4:30 p.m. kickoff for that one, the final game of the round. I can't see an upset here. To be completely honest with you, I think Barrow will do some interesting stuff in the game, have some nice moments, but I don't think their pack is going to be able to get on top at any point consistently against the Huddersfield pack. Players like Chris Hill, Luke Yates, Sebik Ahifo, they're going to be better. It's going to be Huddersfield by 20 for me.
Yeah, I think, obviously losing Price is a big blow for Huddersfield. It's going to cost them in terms of their creativity, but I think Huddersfield by 16.
Yep, there is one championship game, so that's the game of the week. Workington host Halifax on Sunday. That's a catch up from a missed game in round 4, I think, when the weather put pace to that one. Workington could get their first win. Halifax have only got 1 win, but when you look at who Halifax have played, they've played all the top sides and then battered London in their other game. So
yeah, and they were in the game against Lee, weren't they? It wasn't. it was a decent contest. They weren't outplayed by, let's be honest, one of the favourites for promotion this season. So
yeah, I think Halifax will win this one. And League One's back. No Cornwall in the first week, so there's no R-League game to watch in League One, which there will be when Cornwall are playing. But Rochdale versus North Wales has the sniff of a tasty game. North Wales already showed that they can be like they were last year in the Challenge Cup performances that we've seen. They lost to Sheffield, but they scored lots of points. 3 p.m. on Sunday that one is. So I'd pick that one out as the game of the week. I honestly can't pick it though. I don't know yet at this stage what's going to happen in League One.
No, I don't. I'm as clueless as you, if I'm brutally honest.
Yep. But those games and any other games you watch, be it from the NRL, from France, the wheelchair action, the women's games, anything you watch, make sure you get your fan reviews into us for next week's show. We won't have stats on the Challenge Cup games. We don't get those the same as we get Super League games. So your fan reviews will give us all the context that we can get on those matches. Make sure we get plenty of them over the next week. That's most of the show. We've just got the wrap up to do, where I'm going to do a quiz. So people get ready for a Wigan based quiz, because we've got to be nice to Lee. We can't go giving him something completely out there on his guest hosting appearance. So yeah, come back for that. SLP quiz time. 3 questions for you, all with a Wigan theme to them. And I hope I've not been too difficult, but sometimes I'll set questions that come to me quite easily, but then obviously I've thought of them, so I'm going to think they're easy, whereas someone else might think of another question that they think's easy. But we'll see how you get on. I've tried to be nice. So question 1. Which current Wigan Warriors player made their Super League debut as a London Broncos player at Brentford's Griffin Park Stadium?
Oh, well, that would be Tommy, obviously.
It is Tommy Leuluai, yeah. It was in a 28-24 victory over Warrington back in February 2005. Your first full season as a Wigan fan came in 2006, as we learned on your My Rugby League story and what we spoke about earlier. Which future England Rugby Union international was Wigan's top try scorer that year, with 14 tries in 28 games?
That was Chris Ashton's part of the Great Escape.
It was Chris Ashton, yeah. Maybe I've made him too easy. Let me know if you're non-Wigan fans how you're getting on so far, if you're 2 from 2 like Lee is. Okay. Last one. Only one player from Wigan's 2006 squad is still playing in Super League in 2022. This is a player who played 10 seasons for Wigan between 2004 and 2013. He's played twice in Super League this year for his current club, who he joined ahead of the 2020 season. Can you name that player?
Sam Tompkins.
No, Sam didn't make his debut in 2000.
I know it was a couple of seasons later, wasn't it? It was a season later under Brian Noble.
Yeah. It's Harrison Hansen.
Oh, of course, yeah, because he's playing for Toulouse, isn't he?
Yeah. He scored 43 tries in 242 Wigan appearances, winning 2 Grand Finals and 2 Challenge Cups with the club before making a move to Salford in 2014, and then he played for Lee and Widnes and now, of course, Toulouse.
I should know that as well, because he is a nodding acquaintance of mine, because his lad was best friends with my nephew. They went to the same school that my daughter went to, so I should really have known that one. But anyway,
talking of same schools, Harrison Hansen went to the same school as Ryan Giggs and Hollyoaks star Georgie Porter.
Well, there you go.
That was just something that appeared on his Wikipedia when I was checking the stats.
With some Wikipedia, it could be absolute toshing, couldn't it? You know.
That's true. Here's your chance to tell us about anything you want to tell the SLP listenership about, Lee. Any recommendations or anything non-rugby league related that you want to talk about?
Well, I've been racking my brains to think of anything, and the only thing I can think of is if you like stand-up comedy and you have it Netflix, he said, putting his teeth in. Taylor Tomlinson, she's an American stand-up comic, is very, very funny, or at least I find her very, very funny. So if you haven't seen it, she's got a couple of specials on Netflix, then I highly recommend you have a look at them, because they're an hour that will get you laughing, definitely.
Good stuff. I don't have Netflix. I'm one of those few people in the world that don't. People say, well, how can you not have Netflix? And I'll say, because I watch a lot of sport and I don't have enough time.
Yeah. And you
don't have enough time for more TV. You're like, how do people have the time?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But comedy is a good reason to have Netflix, I would say.
To be fair, no, people don't have the time now. We all had the time in the last 2 years, but now things are starting to return to normal. We've got less time to watch TV because we binged watched 18 seasons of NSYS on Amazon Prime and things like that during the lockdown. So people don't have that time now, do they?
No, that's fair. Yeah, I think we covered a lot of television series during that period that those times I had recommendations for. I don't have anything this week. I'm trying to rack my brains for stuff, but don't have anything to really talk about non-rugby league related. So yeah. Next week, change to the schedule. It's David next week. Swap with Sarah. I guess because his round ball team have got a game now on the Tuesday that he was meant to be on or something. I don't know. But what that means, people might be excited, is Mark and Sarah, me and Sarah, will go head to head the week after Wigan versus Hull FC game. So there will be some, bias affecting our opinions, no matter which way the result goes in that game in a couple of weeks' time.
Well, I think I can safely say even now that no matter what happens, Sarah will definitely disagree with you with anything that Wigan do, and it will definitely be Wigan's fault. So.
Yeah, and certainly there's a good expectation of it going the other way as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I suppose that's why we're here. It's a fan podcast that covers the whole game, isn't it? For moments like that. Right, okay. Make sure if you want to get in touch with the show, it's at Super League Pod on Twitter and Instagram, or facebook.com/Super League Pod. You can email superleaguepod@gmail.com. Check out the blog, superleaguepod.com. That's got all the episode information. Search for the show anywhere you normally listen to your podcast: Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Stitcher, Spotify, Overcast, YouTube as well. We're on there some way in form. Shout out to our friends Rob Megastore. Enter SLP 10 on checkout and get 10% off your order. Little Warden Vital Alerts for hidden issues. Head to littlewarden.com to see what they can do for you. And Sarah's Bookcase. Sarah sells books with access to over 3,000 titles from baby to young adults. There's something for everyone. Find out more on the Sarah's Bookcase Facebook page, and links to all of those things are on the superleaguepod.com blog. That's the show done and dusted. Lee, I want to really thank you for your company.
No problem.
Whilst we've recorded this tonight, whilst everyone else listens to this tomorrow and beyond. It's been good to get a different perspective. I think you've done a very good job of not being completely cherry and white spectacles, but maybe that's because we're in the same camp. Maybe everyone else will think different. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. I think by definition it's going to be cherry and white tinted because that's our sphere of experience, isn't it? That's what we watch. That's the team we watch most regularly. But ultimately, I try to be fairly non-biased, and like everybody, I'm a fan of the game ultimately. So I enjoy good rugby league. Whether it's don't get me wrong, I'd much rather it's us playing the really, really good rugby league. But even begrudgingly, Saints are a very good side, so I don't mind seeing them play well as long as it's not against us.
How do you feel about this year for Wigan? As a final sort of thought, we've played 6 games now. We've won 5 of the 6. We were handed it to us in France, though. What's your reckoning of the campaign so far?
I can't get too excited at the moment because I don't think necessarily the way we've played in some of the games this year, sort of early couple of games, is a true reflection of where we are. Equally, I don't think